We are officially live on this Monday.
Wrap it up on that one.
Yes, sir. Today is April the 20th, 2025. You have with you this afternoon Mr. Cage, the trainer, and my brother, Timothy Ellison, the connector, one of the founders of an awesome organization located in Chicagoland suburb of Hazel Crest, Illinois, Entrepreneurs United, which I'm a proud member of EU. My brother, salute. How you feeling?
Salute to you, man. I'm feeling great and grateful right now.
Oh yeah, I
Great
know
and
that.
grateful, heart full of gratitude.
Yeah, I know that. We have been attempting to coordinate, some type of podcast where we could get together and just share ideas and conversation and pretty much do what we normally do when we in person or when we on the phone. So what we're doing is just we're inviting listening ears into some of the conversations that we have. I'm with you. I'm tremendously thankful, for the relationship. I see you as I don't see you as a friend. I see you as a brother and family. You already know how we roll. I'm thankful for the connection, and we'll discuss more of that as we go into our topic for the day,
Yes, sir.
which our title, fasten your seatbelts, y'all. Solopreneurship.
Mm.
Championships are not won alone. Championships are not won alone. This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart just because of all the different processes and experiences that I've witnessed as being an entrepreneur, working with entrepreneurs, whether it be in a for profit or not for profit sector. But I first want to start off because I want y'all to know about this brother and what his organization is doing in Hazel Crest. My brother, Mr. Timothy Ellison, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and a little bit about EU?
Okay. Well, I can start off by saying I'm a business owner. I own a venue in Hazel Crest, co-owner. Me and my wife have a venue called Le Bueni Shea. It's three different languages that we fuse together, meaning the good life: French, Spanish, and Swahili. Um, the vision was to get people to come here and get away from the norm and enjoy themselves. Have a luxury feel. We have a lot of decorators on the team. What brought me here was um, being a solopreneur. Uh, my background is trucking before I became a business owner, and my wife, her background is a cosmetologist slash master barber. So we decided to come together and open up this business. But we found ourselves in a space where we didn't have a community. So I used to go to different events for business owners, networking, so people could get together. And I kind of felt empty after leaving it because nobody really was connecting. It was a traditional panel and uh, just a traditional panel where everybody get to talk, and after that is over. So that gave me the idea of EU. Let's come together and get business owners from different backgrounds and different areas, different cities, suburbs, and let's have a cohort style where we'll give a PowerPoint presentation. We'll bring in different speakers to um, facilitate and teach us about marketing, scaling, using data to up our business. And um, we've been going strong for a year and a half. So the sense of community, that's what I really cherish about EU. And it's just a blessing to have such a rich resource of people that I can connect with and ask questions and get advice from. So that's
Yeah.
how you got started.
How many cohorts, have you done? Can you give us what does a normal cohort look like, and how many cohorts, have we done since? the
Mm.
beginning?
So we just finished our ninth 6 week session. So we're working on 55 all together because we did do a special cohort. So yeah, we did over 55 in reality cohorts of business with all kind of different topics. What it looks like, we open up with prayer. Then we introduce ourselves with our name, our business name. We check in mentally 1 through 10. That's in the beginning. We also go over our vision statement and mission statement. Each member does this. So that gets the room buzzing and finding out who's in the room, and it builds your confidence and your introduction and how you present yourself in your business. After that, we go into the lesson and we eat dinner. That's another great part of it. It definitely brings us together on another level. And after dinner, we teach more on the lesson, and we break off in group activities with 4 or 5 people to work on what was taught.
Hmm.
And after that, we do a presentation and we close out with prayer, take a group picture, and it's on. We charged up for the rest of the week.
Hmm. One of your famous statements, and quotes I always hear you say, is that if you don't document it, it didn't happen.
Absolutely,
So that's a
absolutely.
business. That's a business. It's one a business key. For some of us, I'm gonna jot this word document down because sometimes when we hear a word, we just think document. Well, Brother Tim is talking about uh, the picture capturing us, in the moment, concerning EU. What I love most about EU is the environment, the atmosphere itself. So I'll
Mm,
tell a little bit about the story as far as how Mr. Ellison and I connected and why I became a part of this fantastic, and I'm not embellishing, this fantastic organization that he and his wife has put together. Potential Teaching Kids to Think Before They Do is a program that was co-created by myself that helps young people make wiser long-term decisions through scenario-based learning. One of our goals by 2030 is to have a potential in every state.
mm,
With the advancement and expansion of that initiative, we were reaching out to different professionals. We put the position out there for people to apply to become a youth contract facilitators. Well, Mr. Ellison applied, and him and I was trying to connect and get the appointment done so we can learn more about each other and see if it was a good fit. Eventually, what happens is we didn't get the opportunity to connect. One day, I'm coming from the barber shop. I come fresh out of the barber shop and I get a message from Mr. Ellison. He's introducing this cohort to me, and I'm thinking, let me call this brother. So I called him. He was in the midst of getting ready to travel with his family out of town. And I noticed, I'm like, man, who is this dude with this deep voice that's like talking so methodical? Like, yeah, bro. Ooh. I'm like, Then he started telling me about Entrepreneurs United and invited me to a cohort. Now, in times past, maybe in my immaturity or being a novice as far as building relationships with individuals on a personal professional level, I probably wouldn't have done it because I'm in Joliet, Illinois, which is about 40 to 45 minutes outside Chicago. To get to Hazel Crest, it take me about 25 to 30 minutes. For some people, that journey, that travel may be a roadblock,
yeah,
but not for me
yeah, I can see that.
because you cannot win a championship alone. You
Mm,
have to have a team. He invited me out, came out, wasn't trying to tell anybody about what I had, what I did. Of course, that's a formality in Entrepreneurs United, but I was more looking to kind of feel the atmosphere, feel the people. I saw one person that I knew from Chicago. I saw another person that I knew from Joliet, and I sat there. And I listened. I brought my notebook, took some notes, came in, shook his hand. Okay, this brother Tim, strong brother. I could tell that he was very strong internally, which you need, to be an awesome leader. At the end of the session, I walked up to him. I don't remember the exact words that I said, but I let him know, man, I'm coming back. Oh, you got something. And it wasn't because of the information or the lesson or the people or the context that I could have made. It was because I felt community. I
Mm.
felt I felt community. I know what community feels like. I know what non-transactional relationships look like and feel like, and I know what transactional relationships look like. I look for non-transactional, authentic relationships where eventually we will transact, but that's not the primary focus. So ever since then, I've been part of the journey.
Yes, sir.
Entrepreneurs United and Hazelcrest have so much value that I was doing some work in Hoffman Estates, which from 5 to 7 o'clock on 2 days out of the week, which hindered me from getting there. But then I thought to myself, you can get there. You just got to take a different route. That's a nugget for somebody. You can
Right.
always get to the destination that you want to get to, but you cannot continue to take the same route to get there. But once I discovered that, I'll be there. And I because the cohort starts at 7 and ends at 9. So I got there 7:55. I'm on the highway. Going the speed limits, y'all. Don't get it twisted. But I was able to take another route to get there. So that's the brief story on how this brother and I connected. And he's assisted with us as far as being a facilitator for potential. Came from Hazel Crest all the way out to Bolingbrook to assist us because you can't win a championship alone. My other question for you concerning Entrepreneurs United is what's your vision for this organization?
Okay. My vision is for each member to professionalize their business in a way and scale their business in a way that's so impactful that they take that and they move to their own community and
Hmm.
spread it where they can uplift everyone in their community. And with that happening, um, things will spread like wildfire, and it'll rearrange how this city is ran on the business side. And for EU as a whole, I want to take this from city to city so we can have the example. We can provide that example of how community is so valuable in business and family life
Hmm.
and just all across the board.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, thank you for that too. That's an amazing vision. I love being. I'm connected to a lot of visionaries in my direct circle. Mr. Timothy Ellison is one of them. His wife, Mr. Nita, is another. My brother Ernest Krim, who's on with us now, he's another one. I'm thankful to be connected to all these people that have visions other than mine, but visions that are very expansive. Is absolutely amazing. As far as Entrepreneurs United, is there some type of association fee connected to it? How do people connect with you to become a part of this organization? And also, what responsibilities, commitments, or fees is associated with that?
Okay. Um, we have our cohorts every Tuesday. We have our page on Facebook. We're working on our website right now for Entrepreneurs United. Um, we have our cohorts on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Uh, the flyer is usually on the Facebook page of Entrepreneurs United. The
Hmm.
fees that come with that are $15 per session. And if you want to become a member, it's a $26 per year annual membership fee. And I would say just drop by and check us out, see what you think about it, see how it feels spiritually, and we can go from there.
Yeah, my experience with thank you for that too, my brother. My experience with EU was that it was no pressure. I just came in and observed and listened and felt. But I knew when I walked out the door I was coming back. Hands down, I knew because I've been in business for a long period of time. I've been working with young people for 18 plus years. I been started mentoring young people when I was 27 years of age. I turned 46 this year on April 5th. So with that, going to school for business, being in different business circles, whether it was real estate, whether it was warehouse and logistics, no matter if it was vocational education or traditional high school or middle school, I've been in enough circles to know what organic community feels like. So when I
Uh,
left out that door, yeah, I'll definitely be back. And what I noticed about EU is because Entrepreneurs United, we as our founder has said, we meet every Tuesday from 7 to 9. It's the one organization that I noticed over my professional journey that consistent number of people continue to come on a Tuesday from 7 to 9. Yeah, blew my mind. I sat back and observed it. These people, man, we have a good number. That was before I became a member. I said to myself, this organization got a consistent number of people on a Tuesday,
yes,
seven
sir.
to nine, and then it ends at 9, right?
Right, right.
Then we go, we take our family group picture, and then people don't want to leave. Yeah.
Right. The
I,
connections keep connecting.
on average, I probably get home at about 10:30, 10:45, if not 11. Oh, I'm saying on average, probably between 10:30 to 10:45 because we're building relationships.
Yes,
And
sir.
from those relationships, transactions will come. Transactions come in time, you all, but it takes building and collaboration to
Yes.
keep that consistency flowing.
I'm glad you
Anything
said
else you
this,
want? Yeah.
because it's so many connections been made within this community, within this group. It turned into an economic hub.
Yeah.
We have right now in real time. We have one of our members. He just joined, so he's doing business with a realtor, and I think 5 properties is going to be purchased from the real estate broker. So there's some nice connections made. Government contracts. One of our older members, he got a government contract by connecting with a young lady of EU Entrepreneurs United. Countless events with the decorators and DJs, event
Mm-hmm.
planners all collab and work with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Caterers. That's what we practice in our group activities. How can we set up different scenarios where all business, all businesses that's involved can eat?
Absolutely.
And with that practice in the group activity, we turn that into real life connections and real life revenue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so keep in mind, y'all, the venue. Can you tell them the venue again? Can you pronounce it for us? Because I
The
don't want
venue is
to. Yeah.
pronounced Le Buin Ishe.
Say Weenie Shay.
Yes,
And
sir. The good
what's the
life.
address?
The address is 17100 Dixie Highway, and we're in Suite A,
Yup. And
Hazel Crest, Illinois.
I'm backing that, man. Come check our people out. You got a venue or not a venue, you got an idea, you want to do a birthday party. Y'all do birthday parties. What other type of events did y'all do at the venue?
Retirement parties, political fundraisers, baby showers. Uh, we're going to have a corporate luncheon next week with the village of Hazel Crest. Hair, we had all kind of hair shows, fashion shows. So it's a blank canvas. The room can turn into whatever you want. And
Back to school stuff.
right, we did the back to school event where we had the barbers and the beauticians come in here, and the bouncy houses were outside. We got our own parking lot, about 55 spaces. So yeah, we're here, and we definitely believe in great customer service. So
Hmm.
don't
Yep.
hesitate.
And
Check
also
us out.
too, thank you for that too. And also, we're collaborating May the 4th, the new
All
school
right.
to prison
Yes, sir.
pipeline. I'm gonna be presenting and facilitating that whole experience from 7 to 9, May the 4th, Monday. Check it
Yes.
out. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I'm gonna bring a lot of concepts. It's gonna be more concepts. I am gonna provide parents with different strategies to break the mold and to break the glass ceiling, so our kids can really maximize their full potential in all
Much
areas
needed.
in all areas of life. But yeah, it's gonna be a very challenging conversation. If you don't agree, don't reject it.
Hmm.
Consider it, ponder it. It may work out for us. But I'm thankful that Mr. Ellison is allowing us to come in and facilitate that experience, because it's going to impact individual families, which is going to impact the community.
Absolutely. I would love for more organizations to get involved, and especially the organizations that have youth, their parents to come in and hear this great message.
If I give a sneak preview as we transition into our major conversation, we'll do about maybe 20 or 30 minutes, just out of consideration of both our schedules and our viewers that'll be watching
Yes, sir.
in the future. I'm going to really focus on breaking the employee mindset, because the employee mindset can be one a limitation. This system itself is has saturated the school system, whether it's in a intentionally or unintentionally. And I say it all the time with the years of experience that I've had in different school systems, whether it was a vocational school, high school, behavior school, middle school. I've seen and experienced a lot. And one trend that remains the same is our kids are being taught and programmed to be employees,
Hmm.
which is nothing wrong with that, y'all. So don't get upset if you do. You gonna have to you gonna have to deal with your emotions. But it's more to life than that.
Yeah.
It's more. I'm not saying that everybody should be an entrepreneur. I can't say that. That's a blanket statement. But I can say that more of us need to consider other venues of providing service and generating income.
Absolutely. I want to add to that from my personal experience. Um, I tr- I would say my first encounter as an entrepreneur was me selling my music when I was an artist when I was a teenager, and
Hmm.
I used to burn my CDs on a laptop with my music that I make in the studio, and then
Mm.
one by one pop them out and sell them in the streets. And I built myself up to buy a tower from my cousin. He was out there like 98th and Vincennes, so I drove out there to purchase that from him,
Hmm.
and I was able to make like 10 at a time, and that was my first taste of entrepreneurship and sales and marketing. So not knowing that God was going to allow me to um, use that to become who I am now. But
Mm.
I want to get to this point. When you spoke about the schools are molding us to be, molding our children to be workers, employees, I never felt like I wanted to learn more until I was an entrepreneur.
Wow.
When I became an entrepreneur officially 5 years ago, I'm like, now this is the education that I can relate with. And imagine how many kids don't get that chance and the potential that's wasted somewhere in the warehouse right now, and they could be a mogul.
Mm. Powerful. As you was talking, I got here we go, y'all. We don't got a lot of time.
Yes,
but
sir.
we got some time. So those who are watching, I want you to interact with this conversation and make this note. An employee cannot teach a child to become an entrepreneur.
Whoa.
An employee cannot teach a child to become an entrepreneur. There has been times where I've come into classrooms and I discovered that it was a classroom in marketing or entrepreneurship. And I actually, in my teaching days in the high school setting, I've taught consumer economics. And what that meant was that I could give I could give the kids something that their other teachers could not, and that was experience. And I'm only using the comparison because we some of the ideas, concepts, and strategies and methods are taught, but some of that stuff got to be caught. You catch stuff by the experience of the person that's
Mm.
being used to distribute or disseminate the information. So what I'm not trying to do is minimize any of my other educators or teachers. I love them dearly. I still work with them to this day. But the fact of the matter is that Mr. Ellison has something that Mr. Case does not, and Mr. Case has something that Mr. Ellison does not.
Yeah.
It's not better or worse. It's different. It's a
Right.
different experience. We're gonna talk a little bit about comparison and competition, with our topic, but that's something I want people to hold on to. Normally, when a child becomes an entrepreneur, it can be an organic process because they're in the environment.
Yeah.
Now, one aspect about our founders, Mr. Ellison, Timothy, and Miss Danita, is that their children are in the environment of Entrepreneurs United every week. What do you think is going to end up happening? They're probably going to be entrepreneurs. Or because they are in an environment of different entrepreneurs that's coming and giving different life experiences, they're going to tap into something. And that's one aspect that we'll talk about on May 4th is that the limitation, the prison itself, the the realm of limitation and being boxed in is normally associated with young people because of lacking experience and
That's a fact.
exposure to different
Yes.
individuals that have
Yes.
different experiences. Self, as you was talking to, you gave a nugget which I don't know if you knew it or not. You talked about CDs, right? And I remember back in the day I used to buy those CDs that people used to produce. But what I thought about what you said was you used a machine or a mechanism to duplicate your service. Your service, which was the music, was placed on a tangible product, and you used a machine to duplicate yourself. So a CD that would cost $5, $5, $10 back in the day, maybe three, as
Mm.
you duplicated the talent, the gift, the experience, the ability, now you service more people.
Right.
And this is why entrepreneurship is a very important facet of our society because what's been placed in us, it cannot really be contained in the building unless
Mm.
we choose to be contained. Sometimes we choose to be contained, and then sometimes we are
Absolutely.
conditioned to be contained. I'm gonna make that statement.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we are we choose to be contained, and sometimes we are conditioned to be
Absolutely.
contained. Solopreneurship championships aren't won alone. Mr. Ellison, out of all your professional experience, you being the connector and the founder of an awesome organization that's saturated with entrepreneurs, successful ones, what have you seen from the solopreneurship aspect? What type of
Mm.
obstacles does that create? And also what are the I would say what are the pros and cons that you experience in your business and in the people that you help in Entrepreneurs United pertaining to solopreneurship?
Excuse me. My goodness. The solopreneurship is one of the loneliest journeys that you can take. Um, because you're only looking at it from your worldview. And when you're limited to your worldview, it's 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 tunnel vision. Um,
Wow.
I always tell people that I had a real estate agent tell me how to run my business better by asking me questions. How did you stay booked so many times? 98% of the time, I say word of mouth. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, word of mouth. He said, so how do you reach back to your customers? And I said, I really don't. They just keep coming back or they're telling somebody else about it. So he said, you mean to tell me you've been booked all this time without reaching out constantly to your already set customer base? He said, if you put the system into it where you can reach out to the masses at one time, you will need a whole nother location.
Mm-hmm.
And he always will drop different nuggets. And that's just one person. So when you have a community, my goodness, it's unlimited. The um the success is unlimited. And being a solopreneur, your resources are limited, your ideas are limited, your creativity. It's easy to be burnt out. It's easy to get frustrated. You can't record your wins really, or your losses, and you can't nobody can relate from your past because they really didn't become entrepreneurs, the people that you was around before. But when you reach out to a new community
Mm-hmm.
and tap into a network, all those are open, and it's the opposite. Now you can share your wins. Now you can share your experiences. Now you're not in this alone. You can get help marketing. You can get help brainstorming or have a meeting and find things that you need, tools and systems and data, people that have experience that can help you out immediately. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those are the two differences. Solopreneur, you feel like you're on an island, but when you have a hub of like a network, a family of business owners,
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's no limit.
I got a personal question for you. And if I'm infringing, then please let me know, brother. But it's just popped in my mind. How long have you been married?
8 years now.
8 years. So of course, before the 8 years, you were single.
Right.
Did the marriage and your wife make you a better man?
Absolutely.
In what
Absolutely.
area? What area particularly?
Mm. My organization, my spiritual life, uh, it made me become a better man. It helped with my patience,
Hmm.
uh, financially. And the scriptures does say God give you favor. He definitely gives you favor. I experienced it immediately and all throughout. All throughout.
Mm. I asked you that question because it's being connected from a collaborative standpoint. Championships aren't won alone. Once we connect, it's similar to being in a marriage. Marriage, of course, is more
Mm.
intense, but it's similar to being in a marriage because when we are part of these communities, people can see stuff that we don't see.
Yes.
People have resources that we don't have. People have experiences that we don't have. And when we come into our organizations and we say that we are entrepreneurs, but we operate in a solopreneur aspect, we're limited.
Mm-mm.
Once
That's
we
a great
invite,
example.
yeah, that's why I wanted to. I was going
That's a
somewhere,
great
but
example.
we
Yeah.
brothers, so I'm not gonna ask you a question just because. But Tim gave the example. She she made me better. She had experiences that I didn't have. She probably pointed out some things, not in a negative sense,
Right.
but she may have said, "Babe, you need to work on your patience, babe. You be, oh, just me being Tim. Oh yeah, okay, I got you." There was a when when I taught a job course, a career preparation instructor for the 5 years that I did, we had cultural norms. And one of the cultural norms, because we were very big on mentoring our students, and we had a cultural norm of three M's. It was model, mentor, and monitor.
Mm.
When we connected to these organizations, and I'm using Mr. Ellison's example of him being married for 8 years, when you in relationship with a person and when you connected to an organization and you in that environment, there's some modeling that's taking place. There are norms, cultural norms, business norms that are modeled. Prayerfully, that we coming into not thinking that we have everything, but we can, submit to what's in that person and we can be mentored. Then from there, there can be a monitoring aspect.
Mm.
Uh, Brother Marcus,
Great example.
what, what we talked about this? Where you at on that? Because in a monitoring comes accountability. It's assessment, evaluation, and accountability. So I'm giving us like these program development design aspects that I use, but they're very applicable when you talk about entrepreneurship.
Great
Any
example.
other thoughts?
Yeah, yeah. The thoughts of knowing that somebody's going to be there no matter what, and they have your back 100%. That makes a difference too. Uh, like you said, accountability as well. Like I remember my wife told me one time, like she was like, "Yeah, I'll die for you," and I'm like, "What?" I looked at her, I'm like, "Oh," I didn't expect her to say that. We was having a conversation, but it's it's something about a connection, and you're right. Like, man, knowing that you got that to look forward to, and it's nothing's going to be perfect, of course, because you got to work, you got to be balanced, um, emotional intelligence, emotional maturity, what we was talking about the other day. Yeah,
hmm
so that's a great
In
example.
con- in context, what we saying is that the relationship is not merely transactional. I'm I'm
Yes, sir.
in a relationship to get something. Absolutely not. That
Right, right.
trust me, that never works. Whether we talking about person professionally,
Yeah, yeah.
it'll work. It'll quotation marks. It'll work for people that both parties or organizations are transactional.
Right.
But to win a championship,
Oh,
please
man.
hear me, y'all. To win a championship, the team cannot be transactional.
Nah,
Absolutely not. We
it's
can use
temporary.
athletic examples. We can use the Chicago Bulls since we Chicago boys.
Yes,
That
sir.
team. And Krim and I was talking about this as we worked out earlier today. He said something profound in relation to Phil Jackson was able to gather people around a culture. They
Mm,
were in practices that had nothing to do with basketball, but it did have something to do with the outcome that they wanted to
wow.
achieve. A championship organization has to have culture. What you
Yes.
talking about, Trainer Cage? I come from a championship organization. In 2013, Joliet Job Corps was ranked number 3 in the country out of 125 to 127 centers.
Mm,
I know via experience what championship culture looks like, and it normally begins with the leadership. So that's why I'm
absolutely.
shouting out Mr. Ellison being an awesome leader, because if the leaders, the organization goes, the people go as the leaders go. So Tim has given us the aspect of solopreneurship from the business aspect, the community aspect. I'm gonna give it from the educational aspect, and then when it open up, however you want to jump in, feel free, my brother. First thought: what what did you get? Tim and I is in the classroom. Let's just use the example of, let's say, consumer economics. 'Cause we mentioned that earlier in our conversation. There's an exam that was given. summative in nature, because in the educational circles that I'm familiar with, you have summative assignments and you have formative assignments. Summative assignments are weighted like 80%, and then the formative is 20%. So our kids put more emphasis on the summative because of the points,
Hmm.
but the practice equates to the points. But I don't want to elaborate on that. He gets a 90% and I get a 70. Tim, what you get? Oh man, I got a 90 and I got a 70. I feel bad
Mm.
because I'm comparing my grade to his and not the standard.
Mm.
This is what transpires with us operating in solopreneurship from an entrepreneur standpoint. So I'm gonna hand it off to my brother and allow him to speak into that. My first question to you is that something that you agree with? If you don't, cool. But if it is, or if it's not, what have you seen as far as your whole experience as far as being an entrepreneur on how competition affected the success of organizations?
Well, I do agree, and the reason I agree is because I look at my daughter. She's 7 years old, and she compares herself to the class and how well she does. Well, she gets straight A's, but she's in the program, math program, advanced math program, and this is this guy that's in her school that he gets everything. So she compares herself to him, and
Mm,
he's the top. I don't know what you want to call mathematician in the school, and I
okay.
think he's a couple grades higher than her. But yeah, she'll act defeated sometimes. Like, oh, I was trying my best, and he finished before me. And I remember
Wow.
when you was telling me that grades is connected to self esteem,
Hmm.
and I seen it for the first time. Like, whoa! I didn't even look at it that way, but it do carry on through business as a solopreneur. If you're not doing good, that could ruin your self-esteem. Um, so without a network to connect with, to share these different experiences of ups and downs, like yeah, when you're going down, put something to the side, or just anything, just having a relatable person to connect with, it does make a difference. So yeah, I can relate.
Statement: indoctrination begins early in our childhoods.
Yes.
Indoctrination, whether that indoctrination is productive as far as adding momentum to where our life is going according to purpose, or counterproductive, throws us completely off track because we've been indoctrinated with the wrong concept,
Mm.
understanding of that concept, and application of the concept. In my circle, I have tremendously successful people. And when I say successful, so when we talk about success, because we got about 10 minutes left, when we talk about success, we have to define what success looks like for the individual or the individual organizations, because
Mm.
success, the term itself, it can be relative.
Mhm.
And it's a lot of value components of your value system that brings you to, am I successful or not? So when I say success, I'm talking about individuals I'm connected to that just got overwhelming work because they know how to provide value. Then it equates to the finances there. It's easy for me to be jealous out of comparison.
Yes.
And and I have people in my circle that do the similar type of work that I do, and I have people in my circle that do different work. Doesn't matter. I still have a choice, but I choose to collaborate and attempt to help them augment and enhance what they already doing. Not to get, but I get to give.
Mm.
Let me read this quick statement. Comparison normally leads to competition,
Oh, yeah.
and competition normally leads to a debate.
Mm.
internally and externally. So what am I saying is that we had a tendency to wrestle. Tim doing, oh man, Tim is doing better than me. I'm gonna tell y'all something. We need to get away from that. Tim is better than me at this. That's comparison. Tim is not better than me. I'm not better than Tim. Tim does something different. I do something different. We're on the same team. I rebound. I'm Dennis Rodman. I don't want to shoot. I don't want to shoot the basket. All I do is want to rebound and hustle and play defense.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say Mr. Ellison is Michael Jordan. He's the leader of the EU. As he goes, EU goes. Tim, Mike, what you need me to do? Because I rebound. My specialty is rebounding. Your specialty is scoring. My specialty is program development design. His specialty is being a connector. Comparison normally leads to competition, and competition normally leads to debate internally and externally, with a debate leading to division.
Mm.
All because I'm operating in comparison. Because when I was a shorty, when I was younger in school, this person scored higher than I did. But because I was comparing myself to the person and not to the standard, I become envious. Because as a middle school person or elementary, I have limited life experience. That's why you're important to get in there and begin to talk with your children about what that really is or what has been your experience with that specific concept. So, lastly, we compete with each other because we have the wrong perspective. The fruit of our lives should be an inspiration to others. It should not be competition. The outcome or success that Mr. Tim Ellison has experienced should be an inspiration, not competition. Because inspiration is the first two letters, I-N, inwardly. Man, Tim, you stirred something up in me. Many times when Tim and I have conversations, it'd be like, man, I'm fired up because we're collaborating
Yes,
for the
sir.
betterment of our organizations, our communities, and our families. What you got? Closing thoughts, brother. What you thinking, man? What's on your mind?
Man, just off hearing what you're saying, man, it fires me up as well. And I do want to say I appreciate your insight, your wisdom, and you're a man of your word as well. Earlier we was talking about how I invited you out. A lot of people will say they'll come through, but they won't keep their word. But you kept your word, and I was surprised because it's a lot going on these days where people don't hold up to their word and they don't even follow up after that. But when I seen you step in the building, I'm like, okay, this is a man of integrity. He's a man of his word, and that goes a long way. And the final thoughts from me is we got to look around us, be aware. To be aware is to be alive. This nation is incorporated, so it's a constant collaboration. If you look at from the top all the way down, from the police department, that's a collaboration. Uh, the government structure is a collaboration. I don't care if it's NASA. It's all a collaboration. And how dare we, on our level of coming together, feel like we can't work together or we can't collaborate? We have to. We have to collaborate. But if we're
Hmm.
not like with the right people.
Wow. Okay, let me ask you this question as you go, because I'm handing the mic to you. So I'm in our interview role. From your experience of being a person who the venue does what it does, right? As far as on the events, but also with EU. What you if I was a African American male living in your city and I'm in the let's say I'm a freshman in high school and I say, man, you know what, Mr. Ellison, I look up to you. Man, I got a question. Who are the right people that I'm supposed to connect with?
Mm,
What advice would you give to me as a young person?
mm, mm. I would say the right people to connect with to become a business owner, or just period? Who's the right people to connect with?
Business owner.
Okay, I would say the right business owner to connect with would be a mechanic, a barber, if it's a young man, uh, electrician, someone in the trade industry that has his own business or her own business. Connect with them, ask questions, and volunteer. Volunteer to see what a day in a life is in their shoes. Just ask questions and just start conversation. Don't hesitate. Don't be scared to talk to anyone, because more than likely, if you're a young person, we want to share. And if they don't want to share, hey, move on to the next. There's no shortage of people. So that's
Wow,
what I give them.
powerful. Is no shortage of people, man. We gonna end it on that, man. Tell us about what's taking place tomorrow, man, at the cohort. What's the topic? And again, where do we find it at? What time do we start?
Um, the topic is visionaries and creators. That's the topic,
Woo!
and we're gonna it's gonna be a special edition. And you can find us on Facebook, Entrepreneurs United. We have the red and black logo with the big EU. If you want to attend the cohort, you're welcome to come through at Le Buini Shea at 7 p.m. Uh, the address again is 17100 Dixie Highway. We are in Suite A in Hazel Crest, Illinois. Bring a friend, bring your companion, and let's connect.
Let's connect. What was I getting ready to say, man? Oh, we got it. This part one. We got to do a part two. We didn't get it. We got where we needed to go. Yeah, Solopreneurship Championships are not won alone. Part one. I'll get with this man and check his schedule and see when we can do a part two. Hopefully, it won't be too long, but we'll make sure to get it done. Thank you, Substack people who's watching this now, who will watch it in the future. Support the mission primarily
Yes,
by becoming a paid subscriber. It really does help us continue to connect with our collaborators and provide tremendous value for organizations and organizations that primarily focus on youth development. We're going to continue to put out strong content that you value. Anything that you would like to see from us or any questions, you can always communicate with us, direct message. I
absolutely.
leave you with this. He said, let's connect. Be great at what you do, but
Oh,
be
yeah.
greater at who you are. Peace and love, my people.
Peace.